And we are live.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Frankie here for the Bakersfield Gentleman with my brother Miguel here at Clubbers Lounge in Bakersfield, California on this slightly drizzly day. Had a little bit of rain, not too much, a little bit of a drizzle, not. But we did have to deal with that stupid train, which kind of irritated me.
That is always, it's always random for some reason too. It's like I figured they'd have a schedule, maybe do it early in the morning, but they decided to shut down a very busy highway.
Yeah.
Middle of the day, not the best at all.
No, it really wasn't. But we made it here. We got the show going, and now we're here to talk to you guys. So I'm gonna do a little bit of sharing, Mike. If you want to, talk about what we're gonna do today, and
sure. So today, as we've been talking about, Scott, how you doing? We finally made it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was ridiculous. We've been talking about this for a little while now. It's the first of hopefully many cigar fights, as the name might suggest. We're just going to hit cigars against each other until see which one breaks first. No, that's not it at all. That was a joke. Don't believe that at all. No, it's going to be a little bit of one versus one. I pick a cigar. Frankie picks a cigar. We're going to give you our reasons why one is better than the other. And you guys get to decide who has a better argument or who has the better stick, whatever you want to pick. Obviously, these can change quite often. You do that all the time. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy, man. Gotta move this though real quick. Bradley, hey Bradley, how you doing? Good to see you. Excuse me. There we go. That's better. Check it out on YouTube. And for those who don't know, we do have the YouTube going. Same time. We do the show on both platforms. So if you'd rather watch on YouTube versus Facebook, you obviously can. Today, though, I can't really reveal anything cigar-wise until Frankie's ready to as well. I think that would be the fairest way to do this. But, I'll go into a little bit of this weekend's activities.
No need.
Yeah, no, there's need. Really, really well done tournament. Everyone did their best.
It was bullshit.
I didn't make it past the first round in the first tournament. We did two different rounds. Did a lot better than the second one, but the first one I pulled the short stick and had to go against Virgil, and that was not going to go well for me. He's much better at pool than I am. Richard, how you doing? But nonetheless, had a lot of fun. Everyone did a really good job. There was no cheating or collusion, as some people might lead you to believe, because they did not win. So it just is what it is. But second round, went to the semifinals and barely squeaked. Got put out just by a little bit right there. It came down to that final 9-ball, which is what the tournaments are. They're 9-ball tournaments. It goes by a lot faster. There was like 10, 11 guys playing. So to play full rounds when most of us are not very good would have taken hours and hours. The other way we could do it, get through a whole thing in an hour and 20 minutes, and everyone gets a chance to play a couple of times. So definitely a lot of fun. If you guys want to be a part of these and you are in the Bakersfield area, you come check out Clubbers Lounge. It's a men's members only lounge, 24-hour access for members, and the tournaments happen every so often. The next one will be a cornhole one, so it'll be a lot of fun, guys. I hope you will consider joining.
Now, let's be 100% honest. The second tournament, it didn't really matter. It was the first one that mattered. That was the one that the person who won was going to go on to the plaque. They were going to join the past champions, which there's only one really, which is me. And basically what happened was I made it to the semifinals without any real resistance. I comboed balls to get myself there very quickly. And in the semifinals, I had a shot lined up, and when I went for it, I don't know what happened. I don't know if everybody at the club jumped at the same time or coughed at the same time, but they threw my shot off. That's what happened. That's the long and the short of it. And so in doing so, they allowed my opponent to achieve an easy victory by sinking the 9-ball. So obviously, people at the club were unable to deal with the fact that I was going to repeat champion, and so they had to intervene on their own behalf, and because of their ill intent towards my back-to-back championships.
Nobody intervened.
That's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, there may have been some Russian collusion in there. I do not know.
No Russian collusion.
But it was definitely political.
Not political at all. In fact, I thought we were going to do, because I believe Jeremy won the first one and Virgil won the second one.
The second one didn't count, though.
I thought they were going to go head to head.
That's how it should have done if we were doing double elimination.
No, because everybody had a chance to play the second one. Jeremy was in, so if he would have won both, then boom, you automatically
Yeah, but I'm just saying, though, if we would have done double elimination, you play the first bracket all the way through, and then everybody that lost, you play them all the way through.
But we didn't do that at all. I'm saying, since we had 2 tournaments and 2 winners, they should have played each other.
Either way, it's a double elimination.
Not really, though, because the winners also played. Jeremy
yes, but everybody that played that second game, besides Jeremy, already had a loss. So by getting to the end, Virgil was the only person without 2 losses.
And Jeremy.
Well, Jeremy already had 1, so if they would have played again in the championship, the loser would have had 2 losses. Yeah. Therefore, double elimination. 1 + 1 = 2. Folks.
Either way, well, then let's go into the second one then. Let's go into the second round.
The second one didn't matter. That's why I didn't play hard.
The second one did very well because Frankie lost in the opening very quickly.
There was no point in playing it because
very quickly. To me, boom, he got destroyed. It was a thrashing. It was like what do you call it? This year's college championship?
Yes, you were Georgia and I was TCU. Yes, that's how bad it was. Yes, absolutely.
We'll say baseball season is almost here. That will be a lot better right there. That's when things actually get pretty interesting. Return real soon. Oh, no worries.
All right, guys. So that being said, no, it was a fun tournament. They're always fun. We do cornhole. We're gonna do darts.
We haven't done darts yet.
But we're gonna do it. But the cornhole tournament's fun. We do actually do it indoors. So even during the summer here, we can do it because we have the AC. We're gonna do the tournament for pool again in a couple of months. They're always fun. It's 2 cigar buy-in for the pool tournament. Winner gets to pick, I think, like 5 cigars that they like. Runner-up gets to pick a couple of cigars, and then the second tournament they do it all over again. But you don't have to buy in with more cigars. Just whatever's left over is what they're gonna get. So it's a fun way to get some cigars. I actually got that I did not know. I guess because it was the inaugural one. When I won last time, is I got a 6-pack.
5 or 6 pack.
5 or 6 pack of the very first Illusion cigar released.
Yeah, that's cool.
They're like vacuum packed and they have not been touched since he packed them when he got them. So I still have not broken into those. I don't know if I will, but if I do, you guys will definitely know. So yeah, if you guys ever want to check those tournaments out, just hit us up if you're ever in Bakersfield. We'd like to post when the events are going on. Myself and Randy are going to host marches. We actually have the same birthday, which is crazy. So we like to host marches, and Miguel and I host November. Even though this past November, we had some setbacks. So
they got totally messed up.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to do November's event, but that's okay. We'll get one done this year. So with that being said, it is time to do our cigar face-off. Miguel picked his cigar first. I told him, hey, pick your cigar, then I'm going to pick mine. No, there are a couple of duplicate cigars in the humidor, so it'd be fun if we both pick the same cigar one week.
No, we have to pick like the week in advance, I think.
I don't know if we have to do that, but
yeah, this way we don't run into it. If we run into it, it's fine. But if we do it at the exact same moment, it's like we're just looking at the exact same box.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Mike, do you want to introduce your cigar?
No, you go first. I'm sharing.
Oh, okay. So you guys, my cigar is a Robusto. Comes in at 5x50 ring gauge. There's an Ecuadorian wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and fillers from Nicaragua and Peru. It uses the Fabrica Agro Tabacos in Nicaragua, and uses a high priming Ligero from Peru that gives it a unique citrus flavor, and it uses tobaccos from the Ortez farms in Jalapa and Cantega. So it's definitely a full-flavored yet medium-bodied cigar. That Ligero is not going to knock you on your ass like some of the other ones that are higher priming will do. So even if you're not a seasoned smoker, but you like, the full-flavored, but you don't want the full-bodied strength to it, this would definitely be a cigar that you could definitely try. I've enjoyed it. It has a counterpart out as well. They came out last year that we actually gave a box away. Mm-hmm. And actually someone here at the club won that raffle. And to my surprise, because, these aren't inexpensive cigars, he actually handed out the entire box.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I think maybe he got 5 or 6 because not enough people.
But quite a few.
But yeah, he was handing them out left and right. And I was like, that's crazy. So the cigar that I chose was the Lampert 1675 Azul.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. So that's the route Frankie went. Very nice. Good stuff. Mine is going to be an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper over a Mexican San Andreas filler, binder, and Nicaraguan and U.S. fillers. This cigar comes with a very minimalist band, which I appreciate, but there's a good reason for that because this cigar kills it so much it needs its own coffin. All right, guys. This comes from a company we all know and love, from an owner who is probably the best interviewee in the business because he can keep talking for hours and hours. Even when you tell him to stop talking, he will continue to do so. And he's killed 2 of my batteries in 2 different interviews that we have done. But it's only for good reason because he's a very smart man. And when he makes a cigar and he puts it on the market, you're going to enjoy it. And of course, I am talking about the Maestra de Saka, the Bewitched. And this is the 6.63 by, I believe, what is it? Yeah, 48 inch or 48 ring gauge.
Is it 5/8?
So it's like they're very specific about that. I just want to point that out. I thought it was a little bougie on the end.
No, you know add an inch to that, and that's my hat size.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting enough. But as I said, minimalist band with a wonderful box coffin to go along with it. Absolutely wonderful flavors. Again, I went on the same route as Frankie did. Nothing unbelievably heavy, but it does have that San Andreas binder. So you're going to get some wonderful, pretty earthy notes to it throughout the entire cigar. It does have a pigtail, but I don't like to use those too often. I always end up needing to cut it anyway, so might as well cut it to begin with. Wonderful stuff right here. Very nice rounded box press right there, a soft box press to make just a beautiful friggin' cigar.
Now, I'll let you know right now we are out of fuel here at the club, so that might not have enough, so I had to bring matches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mine's already running out, so I got to go pick up some more as soon as we can. I will give Miguel a plus and a minus. I think it's a plus. I think the coffin looks great. I think that's a nice artistic touch to when you're buying a cigar. But on the minus side, that is extra money you're paying for, extra wood that you do not really need. So it's, in my opinion, it is a plus and a minus to have that coffin. Yeah, it looks cool, but you're paying extra money for that coffin because it does take money to build, to print on, to package, and it's money you really don't need to spend. I mean, you can buy the cigar without it. Like the Legend, the one that I like so much.
They just come
the
with
Party
that
Against
one,
Legend.
right?
It first came out without a coffin, and now it comes in like aluminum white and black too, which looks really cool. But it just adds money to the cost. It's like you don't need that. It was fine how it was.
It actually is a necessary coffin, though, because in this situation, I'm going to bury your decision of a cigar. So we need this to bury you in right there.
Okay.
I am correct in this one.
So the Lampert 1675 Azul, obviously blue is one of the main colors of the band with the gold trim, and it has kind of like not a shield, like a family crest type of thing going
Definitely
on.
Very nice crest. Yeah, it is an impressive band.
Yeah, it is. I really do like the gold foil that they put on here. I think it makes it look really nice, similar to the Rojo. But again, this one is the Azul, so it is mainly blue, and it looks really nice. It's not like a deep dark blue; it's kind of more like a blue green, but still, I think a solid band.
That's nice and all. I mean, but all that glitters isn't gold, Frankie. All right, this is a gold to what I would say your cigar over there would be a silver medal compared. The band's nice. It's great. It's wonderful. Nice artwork. That's not the cigar. There's no band needed on here because you know what you're
had a
smoking.
band.
It's a foot band. Don't need it.
It was a what?
The foot band.
So it is a band.
Yes, foot.
Okay.
Band. Yes, football.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, so
your cigar is performing like the 49ers did this weekend. All right, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Boom. This is getting embarrassing for you. I'm just gonna. Cool.
So you do get that slight citrus note, like they said in the description, from the Peruvian tobacco. You're also getting nice cocoa notes. And if anybody's ever had those chocolate oranges that my sister loves so much, it's somewhat similar to that, but it does have a cinnamon spice to it. It's almost like a Mexican hot chocolate with some citrus to it, which it sounds maybe like it'd be an odd mix of flavors, but it actually goes together quite nicely. Not overpowering on the spice, not overpowering on the nicotine profile. So all in all, it already starts out as a nice medium and it's going to stay in that sweet spot for you guys. So definitely a good one to pick up. If you're maybe on the lighter end of cigars, you want to try something that's maybe a little bit more potent, this could definitely be a way for you to go, and you're not going to break the bank like you would buying a much of the Saka.
Oh, okay. So we're doing it's by price point. I thought we were doing it by enjoyment and pure ecstasy of cigar, not by I gotta pinch my pennies during this. I thought this was supposed
Well,
to
you're
be.
gonna knock mine for the band. That's nothing to do with flavors.
Those aren't cheap either, though. It might be it might be less expensive, but it's not like you're having a deal on it. It's not like the Buffalo 10 or the Charter Oak or the New World Order or the Burro.
I think it's a New World Order
From La Fabrica. Like they have the
Never
Walk
yeah,
Alone.
yeah.
And all, it's just having to be one of my favorites from them. Or the Burro. It's a little more. Yeah, that one's a little more in that realm. But again, it's not a budget friendly stick. It just happens to cost a little bit less.
It costs quite a bit less.
It's like $5 less.
That's a $5 you can spend on something else.
On what, Frankie?
You can get yourself an icicle beverage. You can get yourself a biggie bag from Wendy's.
Not in Biden's economy. Biggie bags are up. They're like $8 now. I don't even know. No. You're not wrong though. You are not wrong. It's a wonderful cigar. The price point matches it perfectly. But I feel that this justifies itself just as well. For price point
no doubt, no doubt.
enjoyment.
I mean, if you have it in your budget, because most cigar smokers, guys, they did a study on this, will find a price point that they're comfortable with. A lot of them is $8 and below. Then it goes from $9 to I think $11, $12 to $15, and then $16 and up. They will find that spot that they like. Once in a while, they'll venture up. They hardly ever venture down unless it's a really sought after cigar. So when you find that price point, if there's a lot of cigars that are more expensive than your price point, a lot of the times you won't smoke them because you're like, I just can't justify spending that money, which I get, and now, unfortunately, out here in California, what your guys' price point might be like a $9 to $10 or $9 to $11 cigar, for us is going to be in that $15 to $18 price range. So our price ranges are going to be different, but it is what it is. You deal with the things you got to deal with.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Now, I will say flavor-wise, because I haven't gone into that just yet, that San Andreas filler is really, binder. Gosh dang it. Binder is really coming through with some wonderful, very unique mineral spice to it, along with that Habano. It's pairing so well together, and it's very complex from end to end. There's leatheriness, that spice, a little bit of sweetness, some coffee. It has been an enjoyment for just that little bit I've had so far, and it really does hit all the parts of the palate very nicely. A little bit spicy, sure, but
what kind of spice? A pepper spice, a baking spice?
That mineral spice that you get from San Andreas wrapper.
Gotcha.
That's what really sticks out to start with. Not unbelievably strong, but again, we're just starting out though, so that's something that can ramp up. I know a lot of guys out there want something it's one of the main critiques of like the my goodness, what do you call it? The from United, the expensive guy, not the Lord Byron right below.
Atabey?
The Atabey, yeah. Like, it's so light for being so expensive, which never bothered me.
Oh,
but I understand why people say that. Like, you want something that is there. This definitely lets you know it's there without becoming without getting the cigar or the tobacco sweats. Like, oh gosh, I gotta walk around for a second. It's not gonna do that to you. It's so well aged, it's so well constructed, and it's so well balanced. You're not gonna have to worry about that situation unless you decided to go an entire day without eating or drinking anything, and you smoke 2 cigars beforehand for some reason. You really have to set yourself up for failure to not really enjoy this cigar. You have to be actively trying not to want to have a great time and enjoy your entire experience. With what I believe it's usually like an hour and a half, maybe hour and 45 for this guy, even though it's not very thick.
Mm-hmm.
It still burns pretty dang slowly, and it burns very well. As Saka's pointed out in a couple of different interviews, his piss test. If he can put a cigar down on the back bumper of his car while he goes to the gas station, go to the bathroom, maybe get some beef jerky, come back, and it's still lit. That's how he knows he's done something well. And he's done something very well right here.
That's a nice statement there. Absolutely. That the piss test is actually really, really important. I will say, if you guys have any questions on either cigar, please put them in the comments so we can get to them, so we can help you guys make up your your decision on which cigar you think won this month or this week, I should say. Um, I will say you'll get about an hour 20, hour 30 out of this cigar here, the Lampert Azul. It is a robusta. It is smoking very well, plenty of smoke output, which I like. And again, the smoke output's not a factor on whether a cigar is good or not. You can have great cigars that don't put a lot of smoke out. But for me, when I'm smoking a cigar, and a lot of other people, they want to know they're smoking something. They want to see that smoke. Burn line is relatively straight, got a little bit of a wave to it, but that'll correct itself, no problem. Ash is so far nice and tight, so no complaints there. And the draw is flawless.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, Lampert's been around, what is it, 4 years now? 4 to 5?
Since 1675.
1675, huh?
Yep.
Wow, that's impressive. You figured by now they'd have better cigars than Saka, but I guess they can do it. Oof, that's a long time to be second best. No, it's crazy.
Anyways, so as we both continue to enjoy our cigars, you guys, if you guys are smoking anything interesting today, let us know in the comments what you guys are smoking. Let us know if you guys have any questions on either the Bewitched, right?
The Bewitched,
The
yes.
Bewitched or the Lampert cigar, so we can answer those for you guys. Again, we're just kind of having fun with this, so don't take any of the jabs seriously. I love Saka cigars. The Saka Khan that just came out has quickly become one of my favorite cigars, and I think I've smoked too many because they're running out.
Oh yeah,
so I definitely got to slow down on those. I think they're absolutely fantastic. And same with Lampert. Both the red and the blue are wonderful cigars. You guys can get your hands on them, and try them out for yourselves. Let us know what you think. And while you guys come up with your questions or any comments you guys want to come with, I'm going to take this time to thank our show sponsors, Cigar Heritage Festival. I want to thank them for letting us be a part of it last year in December. Even though I came back with a ruptured eardrum, I still had a lot of fun being a part of that event and just seeing the sheer amount of people that were there for it. I mean, it was incredible. We had some fun guests on. We had Saka on. We had Senor Fuente on. We had Nick from Foundation on. Nish was on. He was really cool. Kevin Shahan was on for a little while. Obviously JJ was there with us the entire time. And I honestly thought it was gonna be a lot harder than it was to fill all 8 hours, but it seemed like it went by really fast.
Oh yeah, as soon as we got there, it was just nonstop busy. So that was really great. And then big thank you to other sponsor, Artista Cigars, for making some wonderful sticks, for helping keep us going with Pariah Cigars. You see at the bottom right there, Volume 2 for California Dreamin is available. And none of that is possible without their support of the brand and of the show, both folds. And then you can, like we said before, if you're looking for something to smoke every day, get that Buffalo 10.
Yeah, that Buffalo 10, man, that is a fantastic cigar at a great price point. If you have yet to try them, pick some up. You will not be disappointed. I would venture to say, in my opinion, Mike, back me up if you think I'm right on this, they are just as good as you would expect them to be, like the Foundation cigars when they came out, the Charter Oaks.
Oh, absolutely.
The Charter Oaks were winning awards for
that.
Most budget-friendly cigars, and I think that the Artista cigars, the Buffalo 10s, are right there with them.
Oh, easily. Yes, it's one of those that never disappoints. Whatever wrapper you decide to go with, whatever strength you're looking for at the moment, you're going to enjoy it. And they come in some really cool display boxes that you can get a hold of. Love those cigars. Absolutely love them.
Another cigar that they make that I'm a big fan of is the Cimarron.
Yeah.
We've been smoking those recently, broke into that box. And it's a beefy cigar. It's a what is it, 5.5 by 60?
Yes.
And I mean, it is a thick cigar. So I mean, it actually feels good in my hand. I like the way it feels in my hand. And when I'm smoking it, I definitely know that I am smoking something that was had some love put into it. This is a fantastic cigar.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the Big Poppy, the Slugger, some good stuff. There's a lot of quality in the Artista cigars, and they work with a lot of other companies too to make some wonderful stuff. So if you haven't tried them out, you're going to want to, and chances are you might have picked something up that they had their hands in already. As we go into this a little more, because I do want to smoke a little bit more before we keep talking about them. This weekend was also the next episode of The Last of Us and the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about
WWE.
the Last of Us.
Sad.
Unfortunately, we just got some news. If anybody here is watching The Last of Us, the actress that plays Tess, her name escapes me for a second. We just found out that she lost her battle with cancer on Sunday and she passed away. Her character actually passed away last week.
Yeah.
In The Last of Us. So, and then she passed away in real life. She left behind 2 kids and a husband. So our condolences to her family and the whole Last of Us crew. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that in memory of plaque or shot on the next season, on the next episode. That was just really sad. I was not expecting that, but one of our friends, Tracy Lee Coco, who played in Star Trek quite a few different characters in Star Trek. She played, I guess, a bunch of the aliens as well as one of the lieutenants in Star Trek Voyager.
Your guess is good. I'm not a Star Trek guy.
I don't remember the actual season. It wasn't the very first season.
No.
There was one of the following seasons, and yeah, I guess they were good friends, and she just posted the news this morning. So, our condolences to their family for that. But The Last of Us itself as a show is incredible. This last episode, they focused on
Ron Swanson of all people.
Yeah, Ron Swanson of all people, and how they connected to Tess and Joel.
Joel, yeah, and the whole smuggling situation, and how it's not Ron Swanson. His name's Bill in this show, but how basically same guy, just one's a little more paranoid than the other, and a little less like into society. He doesn't seem like people at all.
He finds the world's smallest city and encamps it with barbed wire fence and electric fence and these really cool fire spitting traps
everywhere. Gosh dang.
Yeah, it was really cool. And motion sensors and tiger pits.
Dude, is impressive.
Yeah. He did it all himself.
Yeah.
And I was curious though, because it shows him, I guess, like right after the thing started, and he gets his truck and he gets his boat and he goes to like a Home Depot and it's still fully stocked. I would have assumed there still would have been raiders or looters.
You know what I was thinking? What my opinion was that, at least this is what I said when we were watching, made Ron's character on the show. That's exact. They need the Ron. Yeah, they would have been much better if they have actual Ron Swanson in the show. But I just assumed that, because like I said, they rounded everybody up, and if they didn't have room for it, they just shot them.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, especially a small area like that. Let's say if you went to Delano, they have a Home Depot there. But if you round everybody up in Delano, that's not that many people.
True, and they were going door to door, and he just hid.
Yeah, he had an underground bunker,
assholes,
which was awesome. And I love the fact that he does all of that, and the first person he runs into, or who goes into one of his, a non-infected person, like, I'm gonna save this person.
Yeah.
The very first time he puts all this stuff up to keep everybody out, the first guy who comes along, like, it's time to get married, and then he runs into his future husband out of nowhere. Yeah, I was like, it's not. I don't want to like be a Debbie Downer, but that's not how you find love. You don't trap people in a pit and like you don't like, oh, we're gonna have a great relationship now. That's usually not how it works.
Right.
But either way, they liked each other, so it worked out. And I thought it was ridiculously sad by the end, but then I thought, well, that's the best you could hope for if the entire world went to hell. Like they literally, like everything lined up to where, he got shot at one point. The other dude got sick. They were constantly fighting people off and having to struggle to survive, but
they got strawberries.
They got strawberries, and they did it together. So it's like you can't ask for more than that.
And so we find out they met their demise because they had come up with a pact that I guess they went through with. So when Joel and Ellie get to the compound, I didn't realize it, but they had given him his own code, which I thought was pretty cool, pretty trusting. So he gets into the compound, he gets into the house looking for him. There's rotten food on the table. And Ellie ends up finding a note, explaining what had happened and, what he wants to happen. And so, they're collecting supplies. He finally finds a battery to an old Chevy S10 that they put together, and that's how they're making their escape at the end of the episode. And I will agree with Ellie that he had a wall of firearms. I would have taken them with some ammo, because even if you don't need it, you could trade for it later.
Someone's gonna want it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to tell people, "Oh, you have a truckload of guns." Like, "Oh, I have this extra gun with this extra ammo box. I guess I could trade it."
Hey, GTO, checking in, brother. How you doing? I gotta check my list real quick. I gotta make sure I get the number right because it's a longer list this year than ever before. But Frank, keep talking for me for a second.
Anyway, so yeah. So I did agree with that, but in the end, she gets into the car and she's like freaking out because to her it's like a spaceship. She'd never been inside of a car before.
That was pretty cool. Sorry, I gotta say
go ahead.
GTO, our number 24 cigar of the year, the Anesthesia. I don't pronounce this right. Anesthesia, 8-year age Maduro, taking our top 25 list by storm. Wonderful cigar. If you guys haven't tried it out there, you're gonna want it.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta stop screwing around. I gotta get these interviews done and get him on here so we could talk about it in more depth.
Mm-hmm.
So because we can tell you how much we love it all day long, but I gotta work this stuff out better.
Yep.
That's my fault, 100%. Just doesn't turn into a later seasons of the walk. Oh, and it's basically just I don't care for the Walking Dead after they ruin the comics for me. I don't want to go into that. I don't want to go into this. Very sad. That's upsetting.
But it's a lot easier to do stuff in the comics and in books than it is on film.
Yeah, but the stuff they could have done from the comics wasn't that difficult because it's not like nothing in The Walking Dead is like flying or spaceships or gigantic explosions. It's set in post-apocalyptic world of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So they already have zombies. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They just changed characters and ruined a lot of them that I really loved. So
I get that. Again, that's just studios
being studios.
Giving people what they think, or giving us what they think we want, not what we want.
Did you hear what they were first going to do? For Walking Dead, they were going to do TBS TBS, right? Is that the one, or PBS, whatever it's called? One of those. One of the other networks was about to get a hold of it and turn it into a detective show. Where Rick and I guess not Shane at that point was going to solve crimes in the zombie apocalypse.
That'd be cool.
That was the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I would have loved that.
Dumb. Because you don't know zombies, all right? You don't understand. The plight.
But then again, it goes back to studios giving people what they think we want. Like, I did not hear anybody asking for Ironheart.
I did.
I did not hear anybody asking for a She-Hulk thing. People would ask them to get the Fantastic Four.
No. People wanted She-Hulk. They didn't want that She-Hulk.
Okay.
People love She-Hulk.
They wanted the Fantastic Four. They want the X-Men. They want them all to team up, do like an Avengers versus X-Men thing. That's what people want.
Yeah. So if you read the comics, She-Hulk is a lot like what Jessica Jones was on Netflix, where she just like ran through the superhero community. Like I saw a picture of like, well, this is in She-Hulk's canon, and like everyone that she's had sex with. It was just like,
so she would have been at the party on the Boys.
Yeah, easily. Or she would have been at what the heck? Which one was it? Age of Ultron, where Stan Lee gets drunk.
Mm-hmm.
She would have been there, but she would have like picked up Hawkeye and walked away with him. Like,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and much like Richard, still waiting on Gambit.
That stuff's dead.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
That's what people are wanting though, and they don't give it to us. They're giving us all this other bullshit that we're not asking for.
Then again, they gave you stuff that you didn't ask for. I didn't ask for Guardians of the Galaxy. I had no idea what that was. And it was amazing. Still probably one of the better movies. I didn't think Winter Soldier looked all that great until I watched it. Like the trailer was fine. Like, all right, I didn't like the first Avenger, Captain America movie. It was just kind of by the numbers. Then they totally did so much better with the Winter Soldier. And I think even though you're absolutely right, they could have done better with Civil War. I still love Civil War. So they from time to time, the swings aren't misses. So, yeah, you're definitely right, though. I'm not looking for an America Chavez spinoff anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's not a bad character. It's just not one of the bigger ones that I really cared about. It's definitely not friggin' X-Men.
No.
It's definitely not Ghost Rider. Or I love the Blade idea they're coming with.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say they did give us Ghost Rider and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but we need them in the movies. I don't think there's a lot of people that are really into comics. They understand how strong he really is.
Yeah, how cool it can be.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I think they need to get Nick Cage back. No, I didn't even watch the second one. I've seen bits, and I've heard not good things.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, they're right. It's not very good. Oh man, so not quite halfway, maybe like getting into that second, third almost. Friggin' phenomenal stick, guys. The Bewitched, the Meister de Saka Bewitched from Dunbar and Tobacco and Trust. It really does fit the lineup because this is a yearly release with these coffin releases right here. I've never been disappointed, and this one might be my favorite one out of those coffins. I've had quite a few of these. I probably smoked the most of these out of the two of us, and I'm so glad to have them. They are just incredible, guys. You can get your hands on them. Definitely smoke it. Like you said, I love Lampert too. Don't get me wrong, but if I'm gonna choose in this particular, I would pick this guy first, pretty much any day of the week.
I would definitely have to disagree with you there. As far as this Lampert goes, I'm getting into the second, third, and it has a very definite orange back note on the finish. You're still getting, some of that cinnamon. You're still getting some of that dark cocoa in there. You're starting to get some woodiness in there. But that orange, and for me, it's a definite orange, not like a lime or a lemon or a grapefruit citrus. It's definitely orange that you're getting on the back of the palate at the finish of it. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a very unique note that not a lot of cigars have, is that citrus note, along with like a salt note. Not in this cigar, but just saying in general, a salt
Those
note.
are different, yeah. Very, very specific, very unique.
Mm-hmm.
And saltiness is a nice touch. I think that's a really good one to do that.
Now, for me, when we're going between the two, I would grab this one because of the size. I think it's a more easy to deal with size. What if you run out of time and you got to go and you just wasted that cigar, basically. I feel much better smoking this one in the Robusto sizes, 5x50. There are two other sizes, a Petite Robusto, and I believe a Toro, that you can find these in. But this 5x50 is a fantastic size.
Yeah, it really is. But if I'm here, I'm at the club, I can watch movies. You got TV shows that have never-ending seasons because I get to rewatch them for one. Was doing that when we got here, watching freaking King of the Hill while setting up. And I can watch that over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm going to binge watch episodes, so I could use a bigger cigar. And I love that burn time. I don't have to think about it, especially this particular cigar I'm holding in my hand right here. Corrections hasn't been needed. Relights haven't been needed. Mm-hmm. Absolutely perfect for just relaxing. Doesn't matter what you're drinking. I could have made coffee and it would have been perfect. I could have had a whiskey drink from the cabinet or some tequila, and I would have enjoyed it. Having just a caffeinated sparkling water, it's the replacement for energy drinks. I'm trying not to drink those. Whatever, getting old. But I'm not going to be disappointed because there is perfect pairings, obviously, but this is just an enjoyment with whatever you have and whatever you want to have. Cannot say anything but amazing stuff with this. Brian, though, yes, we got for February 1st. Yes, that is Wednesday. Friggin' Wednesday. It's already February. Cannot wait. That 420 event. I have to hop on the live. Excuse me. Really upset that every time in December when I got it, couldn't friggin' hop on. Really, it was a whole month. I hopped on for like 10 seconds on one of them, and I was super mad because that was when Mom was going through her stuff. And then of course she decides to get a kidney infection. Like really, really selfish. You gotta stop doing that.
Right.
No, she's a lot better now. Don't worry, guys. But just we got to be there for the family, and it's a lot of cooking. So that's what happened then. This month, or I guess February, excuse me. Hope to hop on a lot more of them. And how does Volume 2 compare to Volume 1? I would say Volume 2 is a bit heavier.
They're completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, different tobaccos, different aged tobaccos. The DNA is completely different. So they're night and day. It's really hard to compare them to each other because you're not going to find a lot of similarities other than the fact that they all came from basically the same farms. But you're getting different tobaccos, different ages, different primings, different percentages in the cigar. Again, the wrappers are different, the binders are different, so it's very hard to compare them to each other. Which is what we wanted.
Oh, absolutely. And next time it's going to be even more different.
Yep.
And the time after that, I hope we continue this until Volume 30, Volume whatever. But I will say it's even more difficult to compare them to each other if you want to smoke them back to back, because there are no more volume ones. I have no more for sale. I've got a couple to save for archiving purposes for the Hall of Fame of our cigars.
They wanted us to send them to that
Smithsonian,
that laboratory out in like the Arctic where they keep all the seeds.
Yeah, for prosperity.
In case something happens, they wanted to know what a perfect cigar was like.
There was 5 that were sent there, and 5 that were sent to the Smithsonian to go into the underground vaults,
right,
along with the ruby slippers and the original Darth Vader outfit, because those are
national treasures.
Yeah, those are important moments in the zeitgeist, which I fully don't understand what that means still. So don't ask me to go into details on what that means, please. I will say this: if you'd like to get a hold of the Volume 2, there's a sale running until Richard decides it's not going to run. That was the decision we made on the show last week. He's like, "Well, I don't get paid until this." Yeah, like, you know what? Until Richard gets a chance, that's when it's going to run till. All right. So if you guys want to get a hold of them, the link is the top. The link is the top link in the description. Excuse me, and you can check them out there. You get a 10 count for a really good deal right now, guys. So I hope you will get a hold of them. Try to save maybe 1 or 2 until next year as well, so you can see how they stack up against each other. I'd love to see who can do that and who will take on that challenge. And I really hope you will try them out. I think you're going to love them.
Absolutely.
I absolutely. I've probably smoked a couple too many, but I'm not ashamed of that at all.
Well, that's the nice thing. You know, we've already paid for them, so we can smoke as many as we want.
Yeah. See what the goal is, and I would love to, like, maybe 1 year we just focus on getting like the Patreon to a bunch of like enough people where we're not selling volumes at all. It's just for those who are part of it, you just get them. Like if we had enough members, we could do that.
Right.
And then it's not even, we're not even like, oh no. The moment they come in, they just go out, and that's who gets them. It's not a matter of come and see. It's you basically own the company with us already because you're putting in. Yeah. And I would love to be able to do that. At least one. Maybe it's not the California Dreamin', but if we hit a certain number, we have to do the math on that. But it's not an easy number to hit. But we do gentlemen's only, I guess, blend just for them every year. I would love to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, that'd be
so much freaking fun. I also can't wait to begin the research for Frankie. Yeah, you're gonna need to do some heavy research. I think we need boots on the ground for what you've been asking. Maybe maybe heels on the ground in some situations or in the air, depending on what they're doing. Because come end of May or middle of May, I guess technically, we're going to need that information. It's going to be a very difficult decision. I understand, but Richard, we fully have faith in you.
We do
to help us out with that.
That's why I delegated that task to him, because I knew he'd be the one to get it done and get it done right.
Much like Keanu Reeves in almost every movie, Richard is the one. Or he is a doctor who's hitting on, what's her name? Oh my gosh, what's the actress's name? Oh shit, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm talking about something's got to give. All right, I was
gonna say Susan. It's not Susan.
No, it's not Susan Sarandon. Dang it! Does anyone know that movie? It's a good one. It's not like the most popular. It's not as good as
Keaton.
Diane Keaton. Still super pretty for being an older lady. Good for her. But that was way tangent. Now I can't even think of what I was going to say. Cigar good? Cigar tasty?
Again, you guys, for those of you guys just joining us, we have put Miguel's choice, which is the Bewitch, up against my choice, the Lampert 1675 Azul. And, we've been giving our pros and cons for each other's cigars and trying to see which one you guys would vote to be the better of the two. Again, we've given the blend, we've given some taste notes, we've given some.
Now, real quick though, on that note, when you're saying that which one's better, we're not really debating which one's better, but which one of us gives the better argument, right? Because both cigars are really good.
Right. Well, which one were you persuaded more to try if you haven't, or which one are you persuaded to try again if you already have?
Because honestly, if I'm being totally honest, Frankie sold me on that cigar. It's a wonderful cigar. I may be biased because I have had them before. And I like it. I love it. So it's like, okay, if you would have recommended to me that cigar the way you did, I would definitely pick it up in the shop. like no problem
Yeah,
whatsoever.
the same way. If you would have talked to me about your cigar, what you're talking about now, I also would have grabbed my cigar.
I love how I'm trying to give you that olive branch, and then you try to beat me in the first round of a turn, but then you end up losing anyway. Yeah, I remember someone walking like, "Oh man, I can't wait to back this." My name's gonna be on there twice, and then it's not. It just isn't.
Flukes happen, guys.
It's not a fluke. Is that Brian right there says the Bewitched Saka is his favorite Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust cigar of 2022, and I think you're right.
I gotta say the Saka Khan for me just was much better. I think it had better flavor. I thought it just. They both performed very well as far as smoking time and smokability, as far as draw, ash, smoke output, burn line. They both performed very well. But for me, the flavor of the Saka Khan was just much, much better.
I have to not disagree, but I will say they're not worlds apart. I think you're looking at like right here, and I'm thinking you're just necking. That's all it is. A little bit which one you decide. Because both of them I think are phenomenal. I really the Saka Khan is great, but I'm glad I picked this one for this particular matchup. Because we still have a little time left, and I saw this. I didn't get a chance. The article disappeared on me because Facebook loves to do that. But Arlene from down south, wonderful person. She's a big person. She's a wonderful sister of Leaf. If you guys don't know who Arlene is.
She's a big person?
She's a big person in the industry.
Oh, I was like, damn, bro. That's messed up.
She's big. No, she's not. She's wonderful. And she posted an article, but I didn't get a chance to read it, about Mexico putting huge restrictions on smoking. That you can no longer smoke in any public area, no bars, no restaurants, no venues.
No strip clubs?
No strip club, no venues.
Dang.
It is a $100 fine for the first time they catch you, $2,000 fine for businesses that are allowing it.
$1,000 or 1,000 pesos?
$100. I don't know. I get a chance to read the article. I just saw I saw some comments.
Because pesos is like no big deal.
They're gonna add up sooner or later. Can I get the other lighter? I want to touch up just a little bit actually.
Again, no touch-ups for this one, guys.
I'm talking too much.
I'm also talking quite a bit. No touch-ups. So
he's talking, but he's not really saying anything. It's really important to.
I'm also not calling people big. I'm live.
What do you call it?
Facebook. So
the point I was trying to make here.
What is your point?
Yeah, is Let me get to the rest.
They're turning into Calabasas.
Let me get to the rest. Yeah, because it's not good. It's a $500 fine on any beach.
You can't smoke on the beach. You're turning into California,
Mexico,
man.
This isn't like Baja. This isn't the tourist areas. This is all of Mexico. This is a nationwide.
If you can't do it in the tourist areas, like if you go to Cancun, you can't smoke on the beach. I'd be pissed.
Someone's gonna get real pissed. It is across the board. It is now the most restrictive smoking country out there. It goes beyond, like, I want to say it goes beyond Canada, or I believe New Zealand was another one that was really difficult beforehand. And that doesn't include the packaging, all white packaging, the taxes and all that stuff. It is going directly into where you can or cannot smoke.
That's ridiculous.
And they worded it. It's not targeted at cigars, obviously. It never is.
No, it's cigarettes.
It's all tobacco products. So it's.
I wonder. I know there's a lot of corruption in the Mexican government, especially with their law enforcement, but I wonder if they're going to enforce it on the beaches. Here in California, you're not supposed to smoke on the beach.
But you see people do all the time.
But if you see people smoking cigarettes, they're going to get fined.
Yeah.
Because of the cigarette butts.
Those
the filters. If you see people smoking cigars, a lot of the times they're like, oh, yeah, you better put that out, as they're walking away.
Honestly, you don't really get a fine the first time either way.
Yeah.
Like, they'll just like, hey, don't smoke that here. Please take your butts with you.
Yeah.
Get off my beach. Get off my property.
Yeah.
They actually will be pretty cool about it for the most part. And just don't leave your cigar butts either. I know it's all, what do you call it, but just take it with you.
Yeah. And also don't be right next to people if you don't have to be. I know it's another scientific study that you can have a mile's worth of beach and someone's there, you're tending to sit close to them.
Yeah.
You can be completely strangers. For whatever reason, you're going to be drawn more to sitting next to them than further away from them.
Yeah,
That's
good.
most people, not everybody, but that's most people. Which is weird. You figure maybe you want your own space, but
they had that from it's a primal thing in people's heads, especially near beaches, because they don't want to be eaten by a land shark. And how do you get a land shark? You lay prostrate, you put your fin up.
I gotta take this.
And you're a land shark. What's it? Soon you won't be able to smoke in your house under a blanket in the dark. That is Calabasas. You cannot smoke in your own home. You can't smoke in your backyard. You can't smoke anywhere in Calabasas, California. It is insane. I am so sorry, guys. So you're not wrong, Richard. There are places like that already, which is insane to me. Insane.
Okay.
But what we really got to do is just hold on to what we have. When those kind of rulings come up, we do have to say something about it. Here in California, the flavored tobacco ban squeaked by, and we just didn't do enough to help out, because cigars were kind of exempt from that. But I don't think that people who smoke menthols or flavored e-cigarette e-cigarettes or vapes, whatever you call them, are bad people or worse people for doing it than someone who smokes a non-flavored cigarette.
You're an adult. Make your own choices.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be.
What the children?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyways, you guys, I did not realize that it was getting so late. So we're gonna put this to you guys in the comments. You guys can put Frankie or Miguel for your choice on who you thought gave the better argument for their cigar. As you heard, Miguel already gave me his vote, as did I give myself my vote. So it's already 2-0.
Yeah, sure. Why don't we go with that? Let's make Frankie. If you guys would put Frankie, please make him feel better about losing the cigar or the pool tournament, and me having to beat him in the second tournament.
Wow.
I just don't want him to cry tonight. I don't want to be too hurt.
I think Wednesday's show, you guys will do a live pool game.
Oh, we'll do that again. Yeah.
Best out of 3 between Miguel and I.
What happened last time?
And I think I'll go for a sweep.
What happened last time, Frankie?
I don't know. It was like years ago.
I won. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. As long as it's not air hockey. As long as we never get an air hockey table, I'll be fine. Because then the show will be very, very angry. I don't play air hockey. All right. Let's just keep that in mind, everybody. But if you do us a favor, check out those links in the description. There is the Artista link right there to check out everything they have. Cigar Heritage Festival. The link to get yourself California Dreamin' Volume 2, which are now available, as it says on the screen right there. Do us a favor, Monday and Friday. We'll be on Friday. We have a special guest for you. And we might be going live on location that night as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited about that. And thank you for joining us for this first. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, thank you everybody watching, everybody commenting, sharing the video, whether you're a Facebook supporter or a Patreon member. Thank you for that as well. It helps keep the show going.
Absolutely.
If you guys can do us a favor, we're going to try to continue to update our podcast. So if you guys do us a favor, go to wherever you find your podcast at. Mine is Apple Podcast. And
Spotify,
give it a subscribe, give it a little review if you can.
Yeah.
Drop a couple stars if you feel so inclined. Listen to a couple episodes. It'll really help us out.
And it looks like we're trying to go ahead and record something just for that.
Yeah, we want to get more just recorded stuff for it. It'll also be video recorded put on YouTube, but we do want to get more just recorded episodes for the podcast.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. I'm 100% on board with that. And I hope you guys will check it out too. So whoever cigar chugs the most tequila, that'd be me. Frankie can't chug tequila. He doesn't know what he's doing. This one time he poured a bottle out on the floor. Like, oh, is that chugging? I can't tell.
It's adorable.
It's very sad. It's very sad on his part.
That's adorable.
All right, people. Y'all have a good one, and we will talk to you Wednesday for that second, third podcast, guys.
We'll see you guys Wednesday. Have a good one, guys.